Welcome everybody to our next session, which is the second final of the day. And for this session, I would like to call on Mr. Arijit Bhattacharya, who is the founder of World Leader Summit, to talk about the future of AI in industry powered by AR. So Arijit is a serial entrepreneur, startup mentor, technologist, angel investor, a public speaker, writer, an artist, innovator, and a global VC and a government advisor. As of right now, he is also the founder and CEO of Virtual Infocom, which is India's one of India's first game development VR AR hologram and deep tech solution company, which he founded since 1998. Along with that, he's also the founder of the World Leader Summit, which is one of the largest leadership summit and international business club with 95 plus countries, diplomats, ministers, VC funds, and investors. And finally, he is also a consultant at Asia Development Bank. So I'll hand over the stage to you, Arijit, and you may, of course, introduce yourself where you'd like to and go on with your presentation.
Sure.
Yep. And as I do so, should you have any questions for Arijit, do feel free to type it in the chat box on the right side of your screen, and he'll be able to take on them either during or after his presentation. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction, and I hope that you all have actually enjoyed the previous speakers' sessions. When we talk about AI, let me understand what exactly comes in our mind. Some robot is actually taking away our works, or probably we are thinking that humanity is probably flying in space and we are talking with talking cars, or probably we are interacting with things which is fully automated. Let me define you what artificial intelligence is, and let me give you a small perspective about probably thousands of years ago technology which has been evolved in today's modern tech. And I'll be connecting augmented reality with artificial intelligence, and of course I'll be talking a little bit about what is the future that is coming up and the kind of latest generation trend that's going to happen in next probably 5 or 6 years from down the line from now on. So as you know that I'm a technologist, of course I have two to three different diversified background. So of course running a company as an entrepreneur for the last 23 years, I run India's one of the oldest game development company called Virtual Infocom, which works into virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, deep tech. And of course I work very closely with VC funds and investors. I myself is a angel investor and a global VC, working with a large amount of capitals, of course working very closely with startups and new generation technologists and non-technologists both. When we talk about technology, when we talk about AI, we always feel that, okay, oh my God, something is coming up, we need to upgrade yourself, upscale yourself, and then connect with the latest generation language. Let me tell you, AI is not that new. AI is pretty old technology, to be very, very honest with you. Probably we as a game developers, we have been using artificial intelligence for so many decades, wherein probably in my childhood I used to see all those massively walkable model games on consoles. So I'm coming from a very interesting timeline. When I started my journey, I was 17. I was a kid. I was fascinated by all those work that's happening in Silicon Valley. I was watching those things in normal TV. In that time, in 1998, of course, internet was a luxury, at least in Indian perspective. A PC was like, oh my God, you have a PC in your home, so probably the whole neighborhood will come to your house and watch the PC if you have that. So I didn't have that luxury, but yeah, I started exploring all those kind of technology from local cyber cafes and got interested into a language called Python, which nowadays probably you know it is one of the best language for anything related to upskill and upgradation for any kid towards artificial intelligence. But yeah, I started teaching it to the people and then started exploring a completely new vertical which is on game development, which is on mainly in PC. While exploring that, I started exploring augmented reality on that time, and I used to code on a device which nowadays you call as headset. In my days, it used to be called as helmet system. If there are a group of technologies in this audience who know that era, they would definitely vouch my words. In those days, it used to be boom tube, it used to be cave system. So all those system I worked on my own hand with a lot of different projects for our clients. And while exploring that, I started exploring the kind of technological innovation that is coming up. Now, when I started digging into all those technological innovation, out of passion, I started digging Sanskrit and Pali and two, three different language because I love culture. And while exploring that, I found that in approximate 5,000 years back, probably the monks started using human neurons, and they used to empower human neuron with something which can be translated into English called as machines. But when we go back to those old days, we have seen such kind of stories in our epical structure which defined a lot of medicines, lot of different magical instrument which modern science nowadays are digging up, and a lot of things is hidden, and probably we are still exploring those kind of fact. Now you may tell me that why in a AR AI conversation I'm taking up such kind of incident which is probably yet to be proved, because it is probably there in the history of mankind. 5,000 years back, 10,000 years back. Arijit, are you joking? Well, probably no. Maybe we need to look deep inside our own neurons. If you look at humankind, humankind is a such kind of animal in the entire planet who evolves during time, probably within a day, within a month, we are evolving. Each and every millisecond nowadays is an era where we see latest generation is actually developing new stuffs. Now let me take you a latest generation happening and how it is connected with AR and AI. To be very honest, probably I'll be taking few bit of different technology, mixing up together, because nowadays if you really want to create a groundbreaking solution, all these technologies can merge up with each other. Imagine a situation. I'm just going to give you a very simple way of explaining technology. I'm not going to use any technological jargon or any kind of language or any tech terms into my speech, but I'll be totally open in my Q&A. If anybody wants anything, I'll be open of that. Okay, just imagine a situation that this is around maybe 3 o'clock and you are driving your car. You have a smart augmented reality glass which you are wearing, and you enjoy it because it is actually well connected with a few bit of your own daily workload, and it knows how you work, it knows how you usually drive, it understands when you are hungry. 3 o'clock usually is your time when you usually have a cup of coffee, and now you're driving, your both hands are in steering, or probably your one hand is using the steering, another hand probably working with something else, maybe playing some music or maybe doing some kind of other stuff. But your glass giving you a signal, making a statement that 3 o'clock is your time when you usually go for a coffee. Would you like me to order a coffee? Now you say yes. It can be blink of your eye, it can be a smile, it can be a yes with a voice. It listens your all gesture and your inputs. When it gets a positive vibration, meaning you say yes, it will automatically search and find a nearby coffee shop, and it will say that usually you have espresso double shot. Would you like me to repeat your order? I found a nearby cafe within the next 5 kilometers. You say yes. Within the next 5 kilometers, it gives you the exact kind of taste that you love to that particular cafe. When you drive in, you just go, you grab your coffee, it's ready, it's hot according to your temperature, and then you start driving. Now what happened in between? You are enjoying your coffee, that's it, end of story. What happened in between? What exactly happened when you said yes and it gave you the right kind of coffee? You didn't pay. You didn't say that, okay, fine, this is my card, punch it, this is the amount that it needs to be deducted. No. When you said yes, in the back end, your AR glass is connected with your banking system. It knows usual payment structure, how it happens. And the whole payment structure is connected with the blockchain technology. When you said yes, it deducted money from the bank account, gave it to the cafe, the payment is already done. Once you are there, it's all settled. You just need to grab your coffee and enjoy it. Now, everything is happening in the back end with the power of two different very huge mammoth. Number one, AI and ML. Number two, the secure gateway system. It can be blockchain, it can be something else. Now, when I'm talking about AI, it's not about giving a response and saying that, okay, are you hungry or are you looking for coffee? It's not only that, it is detecting your lifestyle, it is understanding your own life standards, it is understanding the way you move, your own preference, your own personalized taste and preference. I'm not at all talking about the very simplest solution which is happening nowadays in the e-commerce market. When you search, it usually understands the kind of color that you usually love. That's the very simplest thing to do. But understanding a human mindset is something which we are going to face. Now, why this augmented reality glass? Why didn't I took a example of probably a smartwatch? It can be done by a smartwatch as well. Well, no. When you have an AR glass, it can actually detect something which is coming up in front of you. It can understand next 5 to 10 kilometers what is the situation of your traffic. So when you are thirsty, when you are looking for coffee, it will understand whether you will get your coffee within 3 p.m. to 3:10 to 3:15 p.m. or not, or will it take more time? If it will take more time, it will not going to give your order to the 5 kilometer away cafe. It will give you a response that according to the traffic, according to the situation, it might happen we will take half an hour to reach your location. So if I order now, it's going to be cold. So let us wait and order maybe after 15 minutes when traffic are clear. So it cannot be done by a smartwatch. It needs to be done by something which we call as a machine camera or the third eye. In today's world, all these devices are interconnected like anything. Let me give you another example of two more mentored company, or rather I would say one of my portfolio company based out of US. What they are doing, they are developing a hovercraft drone cover for your mobile. So this is a patented technology. Whenever you will move, whenever you go, it will follow, hover in front or back of you, meaning you don't need to hold your mobile. It will just hover. Now, you may ask me, okay, fine, Arijit, you know what? There are news that you can actually have a floating mobiles. So how about a hovercraft? What's the difference? Well, hovering is a completely different kind of physics altogether. Follow someone utilizing a technology and hovering is completely different. Who can use it? Not only a normal person, it can be used by physically challenged people as well. Imagine a situation that somebody don't have his both hands, but can't he have an opportunity to interact, communicate, and do the works that we can do? Well, these kind of technologies can give you a strength, a power without utilizing your hand, just using your voice command. Because it's a patented one, it can only listen to your commands, meaning it will only understand your voice, and according to that it will act, react, and work. It's not gonna be following your body, it's gonna be like calling someone. It can be setting up meetings, it can be working with your smartphone utilizing such kind of technology. Another example, let me give you another very interesting startup whom I'm mentoring, again based out of US. What they are producing, they are producing their own protected, I would say, it's already their patent is done. So I would say their own patented technology which can automate and optimize electricity bills of any household. What it's going to do, it's going to calculate and understand the power consumption of any house or maybe any building or probably a complete set of flats. It can calculate and say that this is where the extra power is actually going, and it will optimize the power bills in such a way people get usually shocked. They have got 2 3 different layers of their consumer base at the moment, and the kind of AI that they are using is really amazing. They have been till date produced approximately 25% less electricity bill till date from household power consumption. Now, when as a technologist I usually speak, I always say a very simple line: technology is basically an enabler to solve the human issues from normal day-to-day life. So I mean, it's not about creating something really geeky. Rather, it's creating something very, very simple which can optimize and simplify user perspective, humankind, so that things can be smoother and easier. I was just speaking since morning in another conference, and we have been discussing about power of AI implemented into education. Think of a situation: you have your, forget about AR glass, you have your own normal smartphone, and you have a AI based powered tool which can give strength to our kids to see the history, to watch the geography, to understand the physics, probably using a AI based system. And AR can give you that power to project that into real life. So as a kid, probably a kindergarten kid, can actually enjoy history a complete different way altogether. It's not about reading the books anymore. Nowadays, the next generation future that's coming up is basically understanding all those features, projecting it into real life, and be a part of that kind of historical education process. So those are the things that's actually happening at the moment. Those are the things that is coming up. And of course, I don't feel that I need to say that there are situations in life where we will be getting automated cars, self-driving cars. Of course, we are talking about nowadays aeroplanes without a pilot. So of course, all these things are actually powered by AI. I have 2 minutes more because it's already set for 20 minutes speech. So I would love to give another example of another startup who are working out of Australia. What they have done, they are creating, it's still in the process, MVP is done. They are creating a situation where the aircraft maintenance can be done powered by AI. From the remote location, these guys can actually give AR enabled glasses to their employees, and remote logging method is so easy nowadays that a supervisor can practically give them instruction, probably sitting in Asia. So imagine a situation in a factory, supervisor is in maybe in Taiwan or maybe in South Korea, and he or she is giving instruction to his own colleagues in that factory using that AR glass by making a statement: okay, fine, you do 1 2 3 4 5 steps. If you do that, these are the kind of conditions you are going to face. I can give you another example which we did with underwater drone systems. So we have been developing with another company who are supposed to find oil under the sea, and we are creating a system which can actually detect the element under the sea without without anyone who is going under the sea itself. How it's happening? Utilizing, of course, the underwater drone that actually goes deep inside the sea, understand things, gives a signal back, analyzing it in the back end, and then give a reply back. There are so many things happening. To be very honest, it's hard for me to define everything within 20 minutes. I really didn't want it to give a normal speech. Rather, I wanted to give you practical example, what's happening and what's coming up. I'm totally open if you are asking me any kind of question, any sort of, it can be technology, it can be funding, it can be probably any kind of other question. Open, I'm opening the floor for all of you.
Yes, thanks, Arijit, for that very insightful speech. It was actually very interesting hearing all about that you discussed with regards to the future of AI, especially powered by AR. I did, and I'm sure the audience did too, learn a lot from what you had to share. And definitely, I'm sure that there was a whole lot more that can be included in that topic. Just that, of course, had to be cut short given the time frame. But of course, it's been a pleasure to have you here at this conference, and we very much thank you for taking the time to join us at this event. There are no questions which have been coming up as of right now, but to all the audience, if you do have any questions for Arijit, you can always message him directly here on the platform. You most reach out to him and ask him whichever questions it is you'd like to ask him as well. And once again, we do want to just conclude the session and thanks to Arijit. We hope to see more of you in the future for our AI events, and we can't wait to be in touch with you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yep.
much.
Yep. And to conclude for to the audience, we'll be moving on to our last session for the day. So I will see you in the next room. All right. Goodbye, Arijit.
Thank you. Bye.